Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about the brand new Scarlet Spider, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
Hello, guys, and hello, everyone out there. So we are recording the same day as the Adepticon release, so we have a lot to talk about, a great deal to talk about. But before we go through all of that, let me real quick go through upcoming tournaments. Otherwise, it'll just get forgotten. Okay. Coming up next Saturday, that's Saturday, March 30th, is a tournament at Fabricators Forge in Pittsburgh. Head on over there if you're in that general area. On April 6th, there is a tournament at Sweets and Geeks in Medina, Ohio. That's in a large warehouse where they produce candy, as I'm to understand it. So it seems like it's an awesome venue. Coming up the following Saturday, that's Saturday, April 13th, there is going to be a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston. And then on April 27th, there is going to be a tournament at Recess Games in North Olmsted, Ohio. So that's near Cleveland. All right. I'm rushing through it just because otherwise we're going to have a very long episode today. We have a lot to talk about, don't we, guys?
I don't know what you're talking about, Fred.
Yeah.
I've been at work all day.
I've also
Well,
been
you're gonna
working on stuff all day.
I've been driving.
Well, there is a lot to see and a lot to learn about today. So let's get into it, shall we? Right now, I think we only have the front of the card for these characters, but we're still going to talk about them right now. We've got Black Panther, Chosen of Bast. That is a 3-point Black Panther model. That's the one where he's riding on a cat that we've seen that picture of.
He's not on a cat. The cat's just next to him.
Oh, he's next to a cat. Okay. It's interesting. Now there's a 3, 4, and 5 Black Panther. Yeah, we got the rules for Sandman. We know essentially how his minions are gonna work, his buddies. I'm very intrigued to see how he plays on the table, but we'll go over him in the near future. We got the rules for Scarlet Spider. This is the person we're going to be doing today, mostly because it's the best picture we've got of a card, but also he's the one that's coming out in the most recent. Oh, what's the word? He's the most upcoming.
Soon? Are you looking for the word soon?
I'm looking for the word soon. Yes, thank you. He's the one who's coming out the soonest. Yeah, so that's Scarlet Spider. We got Shang-Chi's rules. I think that he rules. I think he's awesome, but we'll do him soon. And we also got Vulture's rules, and I'm disappointed that he's not a leader. But well, he is a 3-point model. Okay, all right. So those are the character cards that we got revealed to us. And again, we only got the fronts of those cards, but assume they have not been changing the backs all that much recently in very many of the cards. I feel like that's kind of a thing they were doing early, and they're not doing it nearly as much. Usually the only thing that changes is the stamina nowadays. All right. We saw some new tactics cards while there. Let's talk through these instead of just blowing through them, because otherwise I'm worried we may not ever talk about that. Well, there's one we're going to talk about all the time, but we'll do that one last. Let's start with Mystic Ward. This is a defender specific card. It is active. and an allied defender's character may spend two power to play this card. Choose an objective token within range 3 of the characters that played this card, and place a Mystic Ward token on it. The marked objective token cannot be interacted with, contested, or controlled this round. If a player is currently controlling the objective token, they are no longer controlling it. Remove the token during the next power phase. Okay, sorry. I was having trouble reading the card. Okay, so is this the first Defender's specific card?
Nope.
Nope.
No? Okay. I know that they don't have very many.
It's the second
It's the-
defender specific card.
It's the first Defender's specific card that doesn't designate one or two characters.
Okay.
So
Well,
anybody who's a defender can use this.
Yeah. Okay. What is everyone's thoughts here? What are your thoughts, Brandon, specifically?
I like it. It's 2 power to turn off, like to assure that someone's not gonna get an objective point. It can be like a last ditch effort if you're gonna lose your home like Gamma to prevent them from getting 2 points. It can be it's really good to just like, especially where you have to be within range 3 of it, so like you can be on like the middle point and turn off their home objective for a round. I mean, 2 power to prevent a point is probably worthwhile.
Absolutely. I also think that this is something to help defenders in a game against Kingpin. You know, they can focus in on one side of the fight and then turn off the other one. I think it's a neat card. It's neat. It will probably see play, I think. What do you think about it? Oh, I was about to, Steven. I was about to call on you.
Okay, it is AMG's attempt to bring researcher in line.
Okay, yeah, it does. It does. It will affect researcher quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, people say researcher is a problem, and I can't say they're wrong, but I think this is a little bit of a nudge that way to say, well, if you're facing defenders and they have this card and you pick researcher, just be warned,
Right.
So
So I haven't played Research Station in a long time.
I played it today and it was very bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The problem with researcher is like every degenerate list is usually utilizing Research Station.
Yeah.
We locally don't have a lot of that, so we don't have people playing researcher all that often.
Right. What are your thoughts on this, Brad?
I think it's probably pretty good. I think this card will actually see play, unlike a lot of the cards we've gotten recently.
Okay.
I think all the cards we're going to talk about are going to see play.
I agree. One of them very much so. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next card. It's called Street Smarts. It is another defender-specific card. It is a defender's reactive card, and during the power phase, any number of allied defenders' characters may spend 1 power to play this card. This round, while a character that played this card is holding or contesting an objective token, if it would be pushed, advanced, or thrown, it may suffer 1 damage, I should say. If it does, it is not pushed, advanced, or thrown. What an amazing card! Both of these cards are cards that are to make the defender's objective game better. And the defenders are killy as can be, so it's just making them a more playable faction. Let's start with Brad this time. Brad, what are your thoughts here?
Are you telling me that I can't throw Shang-Chi and Daredevil off of points anymore, and I have to try to actually kill them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
This
exactly
card, this
what
card
this
needs to be restricted when it comes out immediately.
means. I
You
mean,
forgot.
I,
You forgot Iron Fist and Luke Cage too.
yeah, they're not even the toughest ones. There's still those two guys.
No,
No,
we
the
also have
tou-
a Hulk.
the
Shang-Chi is going to be harder to kill than Iron Fist.
Oh, I agree. You're absolutely correct.
Am-
No question. Shang-Chi's going to
ama-
be a problem on the table.
this card needs
Amazing
restricted
Spider-Man.
immediately.
Yeah, this is nuts. Like, defenders are going to be in an amazing spot after these cards hit the play.
For the listeners that can't tell, Brad is being sarcastic and
I'm
making
not.
fun of me.
I think it is very good. I think it's a great card.
That card's amazing.
I want to hear what you think about it, Brandon. I want you to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be an auto include. It's a card you're going to take if you're playing defenders pretty much no matter what, especially because they don't have a lot of tactics cards. Most of their tactics cards are character specific. This gives you a lot more freedom and allows you to play cards. Being able to play cards like Street Smarts, Heroes for Hire, 2 restricted cards like Brace and Sacrifice.
No, only
and then
one. Because Street Smarts will be your other restricted.
and then still having freedom and flexibility. It's going to be tough, especially now with the new Daredevil leadership. Comboed with Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. Like, it's going to be really hard to deal with a lot of these people, especially Shang-Chi. And Daredevil's, if you haven't played against new Daredevil, he's a pain in the ass to deal with. So cards like this are going to make it a lot more problematic for people to have to try to deal with. It's good. Defenders should be an affiliation that's a lot better than they've been for the entirety of the game. So it's good to see them getting some love and hopefully a lot more playability. And you guys also forgot that Hulk's affiliated.
Yeah, I know. You can't throw Hulk either.
So is Immortal Hulk.
Yep. It's oh.
So is
Listen,
Ghost
Defenders-
Rider.
Yeah. Defenders were already a lot better after the Daredevil retooling, and these two cards, but this one specifically, is gonna be a huge boon for the faction.
Yeah, they had a great roster. The only thing they were missing was tactics cards, and these two are gonna be very prominently played going forward. But Shang-Chi is July, August.
You have until July or August to
think.
win
I was
against
at-
Defenders. Everybody.
That was somewhat of a question more than anything.
I don't
Oh, I don't know the answer to
remember,
that.
and I didn't get pictures of the timeline.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's late summer, so or I don't know. I'll check back in like 3 seconds. I'll go find the picture. I have a picture of it somewhere.
Okay. While
July. It's July.
July. Oh God.
Yeah.
Sooner
July 2024.
I hate it. All right. Well, Steven, do you have anything you'd like to add about Street Smarts?
No, it's good. I just, people will still want to throw you because you just take a damage anyway. So
Yeah, that's true. It is a way to put guaranteed damage on people. So if you can push multiple times, that's multiple guaranteed damage.
yeah. So is this? So you have to be a defender. You can't be unaffiliated, right?
Correct. It
Yeah.
specifies defenders. Have
Yeah,
to
it's like
defend
it's
one time.
it's like the criminal syndicate cards only, and affiliation models are going to be able to pay for it.
Right, because Beta Ray Bill would be broken with this.
Oh boy.
This card
one
is
damage?
this card's also very anti Beta Ray Bill because that's kind of where he strives, is being able to pick up a Hulk and throw him, and for 1 power, turning a 5 auto damage into someone to 1 damage on a Hulk is really good. And the fact that he can do it twice in a turn,
It's money.
it's a good thing. Defenders haven't had a tactics card the entirety of this game's existence, and they've been an affiliation for a very long time.
Yeah, they've needed some specific tactics cards, and
Yeah.
they've got them now. All right,
This is good, not bad.
let's move on. Let's move on to the next card. The next one is called the Invaders. It is a shield specific card, a reactive card. And after deployment, an allied Namor the Submariner or Steve Rogers Captain America, that is the second version of Steve Rogers, the 1940s one, may play this card. The character that played this card gains the following leadership ability. It is called the Invaders Affiliation Shield. Allied characters may re-roll one defense. Uh, Additionally, they can modify and re-roll skull results while they are within range 2 of another allied character. It's exactly Web Warriors. Is it?
No.
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 What's okay?
That's not.
It's very similar to Web Warriors.
Web Warriors, you have to be with, you have to either contest or hold an objective to reroll your fail results.
Okay. And so
This
this
one-
one, the difference is it's within range 2 of another allied character.
It's the buddy system, yeah.
Okay.
But if
I mean,
you
it
have
was a
a
good
different
leadership-
reroll, it also looks like this reroll would allow that to roll reroll
Yeah,
skull results.
It does.
So if you have a reroll like an innate reroll and you're within 2, you get to reroll your skull results instead, as well, or in addition. So
Yeah. It's a very good leadership in Web Warriors, and I think it'll be probably not as good in Shield, but still good. Still a good leadership.
I think it's probably the third leadership they reach for.
depending on how good Namor is.
Yeah.
If Namor also like say he has like a range to like reroll bubble and is like just really good, that could be something that pushes him up. The hardest thing about this is the fact that Shield also has a lot of really good tactics cards, and you're down a tactics card if you're playing this card.
That's
You're
true.
correct.
So that's the worst thing about this is the fact that it's a tactics card.
Yep. Yeah.
Or it takes a tactics card slot.
What are your thoughts on this, Steven?
I don't have an opinion, I guess.
Okay.
It's hard to define a card that's a leadership until it's thrown out into the wild per se to see how that works, because like Hellfire Club wasn't thought of to be that much, and then all of a sudden everybody's running Hellfire. Convocation was thought to be broken because it added that card extra, and you didn't have to sacrifice your 5th slot for tactics cards, but hardly anybody plays Convocation. So who plays Corvus's leadership? That's another one, obviously. So until it gets out into the wild, I mean, we can always have an opinion on it, but we never really know how good these are until they're put on the table. Is where I'm at.
Right. And like I haven't thought about or seen Steve Rogers Captain America on the table since we did his episode more than a year ago. So I don't know how he'll do. I don't even remember what he does. So
I've been trying to find a reason to buy that box. I tried to make the Human Torch work, and I think it's I think it's a good thing if you want to play him because he's fine and he does things. I think it's gonna be. It'll depend. I think it'll be good enough if you want to play it. I think it'll be good enough for sure. Shield has a really good roster and has really good affiliated models. So
yeah. Yep. Oh man, think about this with 4-point Black Widow. She's unkillable under this leadership.
Well, I guess the other problem is that, and maybe this is why they came up with timelines, but if you think about it, in the beginning of the game, you could have 10 characters, right, in your roster, and you were very limited because when I got in, there was maybe like 30 characters. But now, I mean, we're creeping up on 200. So every character that comes out drops your percentage of characters that you're going to take. You know what I mean? You'll try the new ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once you're done with that and you've kind of had a taste, you know what you like and you know what you don't like. And it'll go on the shelf and you'll never pull it out again. And that's the sad part about this game, is that the more and more characters that they get, the more and more characters we don't see.
Yeah, there are going to be ones that become more and more niche that
Mm-hmm.
just don't ever see the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This, do you feel like this is them trying to pull Steve Rogers Captain America onto the table?
Right. I think they do little increments to, solve maybe problems, and this might be one of them. Just like I referred to the one defenders card, kind of being a solution, a little bit of a solution for researcher, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're going for. But like you said, you haven't seen him in how long, right?
Oh, like more than a year. I haven't even looked at
Exactly.
his card.
Exactly. I haven't even bought the pack. I mean, there's a lot of packs I haven't bought, but some I just refuse to buy. But I know it. You have to make things appealing to people for them to want to take that product home with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And
Now, the unfortunate thing is that you would have to buy the Namor and the Captain America box.
right. If you want to play, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Namor looks awesome. We don't know what he does yet, but he looks awesome.
He better have a size 6 throw. That's all I know.
All right. Brad, have you had a chance to talk about the Invaders' leadership?
I don't think it's gonna get played.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Let's move on to the
He
last
said
card.
it was the third shield leadership you reached for those
I did.
not paying attention like
I
Fred
did.
was.
He did. He did.
I did say that.
All right, let's move on to the fourth card. This card is
Unplayable.
called Venomized. All right. It is an unaffiliated active card that costs an action to play. This is relevant. An allied character may spend 3 power to play this card during its activation. For the rest of the game, the character that played this card reduces its energy defense by 2 to a minimum of 1. And for the rest of the game, the character that played this card gains the attack shown above. The attack is called We Are Hungry. It is a physical attack, range 3, 7 dice. It costs 3 power to use. And after this attack is resolved, the character removes damage from itself for each damage dealt. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is gonna be disgusting.
Now, I don't think it's an action to play the card. I think it's referring to the action.
It's an action to play the card.
Really?
That's how that's written in the rule book. It's an action to play the card.
Yeah, and I think it
It's
should
just
be
indicating that the character that's getting this played on gains that at the top. That's why they're separate.
Okay, well, I don't think this card's worth it then if it takes an action to put it on yourself.
It takes an action and 3 power, and if it didn't, it would be broken. It's still really good.
It's really good. Think about this on Hulk. Like Hulk who gains the ability to heal himself whenever he does this attack. And if he's got some damage on him, he can get this up to like 10 dice.
This is a card that is going to be specifically attached to Hulk, I believe, because of what Fred just said. You can do this on turn 1. and then just move forward, and then you're online to do this attack for range 3 the rest of the game, and have time to do your builder as well. It's gonna get really, really gross really, really fast.
Yes.
I think 6 months down the road after this comes out, which I guess comes out in May. So what's that like?
That'd be November.
Yeah, November-ish. This is going to be restricted.
Yeah.
If it even
This is gonna
even if it lasts that long, it may get restricted before then.
This is one of those cards that has please break me written all over it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Characters
think
that
about this in Defenders with you getting all those rerolls. You get lots of, or in Captain America 3, with the ability to just get extra hits.
I mean, you do have to be kind of cautious. If you take this into like Guardians of the Galaxy, like they would literally just nuke Hulk. Like they have enough energy to literally just take him out. So you have to be somewhat cautious.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's gonna be really gross. But I believe it's just gonna be attached to Hulk. I just hope they decide when they do something about this that the change isn't going to be to the character, it's going to be to the card.
What do you mean? Like,
I don't want them to nerf the characters that are abusing this. I'd rather
oh
them
yeah,
just
yeah, I
nerf
see
the
what you're
card.
saying. You want them to make a change to this card, not to Hulk.
Correct.
When there's a degenerate list that's using a venomized Hulk all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's even worse on Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just because he's basically unkillable. Well, he's not. He's not unkillable. And
Well,
this
does he
when
have 4 energy defense?
No, he's got 3, just like
Is
normal
he
Hulk.
3? Okay. I couldn't remember because there was someone else I was thinking about. It was a while earlier today with this card that had 4 energy defense, and I couldn't remember who it was.
You could put it on Claw.
You could put it on Claw.
You
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 put
could-
on
three energy defense.
Ghost
this
Rider
does make She-Hulk
would
a lot
be
better.
good.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider would be good, and he maybe can play it the first turn.
Yeah. And She-Hulk would have to get an attack in to play it. She'd have to get dropped off to play it. But this would actually be really good on She-Hulk.
No, she would just have to get other characters damaged in her faction.
That's true.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. She would have to get dropped off or trigger her affiliation. So, yeah. We're gonna have a lot of venomized green people, is what I'm getting at. And no, I'm not referring to Viper.
I was thinking Green Goblin.
yes, I was too.
Green Goblin wouldn't be terrible with this.
He would not be. He would not be terrible.
What about Lizard?
Oh my god. Carnage. Carnage.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a really good card for Carnage.
This is a Carnage card. Oh my gosh, it is.
He gets no downside. It's all upside.
Ironically, this card's also really good on like Dormammu and
Mysterio.
the one guy. I can't think of his name. The guy Malekith. Jesus.
Yeah, this is Malekith.
Yeah.
Malekith would love this.
Yeah. God, Malekith before his nerf.
Mysterio doesn't mind this either.
Malekith used to be able to just play this on turn 1.
What's your thought with Mysterio?
Well, he has 1 energy defense anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a range 3 attack, which he loves, and he'll heal himself.
Yeah.
I'm just being silly. But the thing
He also dies to a swift, brisk wind. So
But people would have to use 2 power to target his lower defenses anyway.
That's true. Well, this is one that I'm worried about. I'm worried it's gonna there are gonna be some degenerate lists that are built around this.
I would like I read this when I read this earlier, I thought you played it on like an enemy character. And their defenses went down, but they got the upside of that attack, and I was like, I mean,
That's kind of
you just
interesting.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, you use it, you play it to nuke someone's energy defense to try to turn around and kill him, like Agent Venom. If he's got like 7 power, he can just do that and then a spender and like just nuke someone. I was like, I guess that's pretty cool. And then I was like, then I read it again. I was like, oh, that's a lot worse. There's a lot more degenerate things you can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's set that one aside. Okay, we also got those are the specific rules that we learned during this Adepticon. There's also a ton of pictures and new model reveals that we need to go through. So, Brad, let's start that process. Okay. So, what we're looking at here in this picture are Weapon X and Maverick.
I'm impressed, Fred.
I don't know who. What?
I'm impressed you knew who they were.
Do you see in the bottom left corner there?
Yes,
where
Fred. I was joking.
Yeah.
There's no way you would have got that right without them being there.
You're correct. I would have never gotten that. Well, Brad, are you excited for these? I have no idea who these people are.
Yes, you do.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Weapon X, that's Logan, right?
Yes, that's Logan. But that's Logan
You've
when he
actively
was...
seen that character.
Yeah. That's him
Who's
being
Maverick?
controlled by the government.
Okay.
There's a whole GameCube game based with that character. That's like the whole first level.
This is one of the best models they have done. That is straight off a comic cover. It is so cool.
The Weapon X one?
Yeah. I love it. Maverick will probably also be Weapon X affiliated. Both of these are probably Weapon X affiliated.
I would hope that Weapon X were Weapon X affiliated.
Yeah. Weapon X needs some new models.
They needed new leadership. What are you talking about?
The leadership's fine, but they probably will get a new leadership. Because the only way you can play Weapon X with them right now is as X-23 is your leader. So I figure they'll have a new leadership.
Because I see. Because he will be named James Logan Howlett.
Yes.
And you can't have the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think this would be a good time. I said this when the Weapon Xbox came out, to have like a tactics card leadership that isn't tied to a model. You just get it the whole game.
Huh.
I think that would
similar
be
to
Well, Convocation, it goes on a character.
Convocation is tied. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it is tied to a
Yeah,
character.
no, this, have this be the controllers back at the base telling them what to do, not actually be on a model. I think that'd be cool.
Okay. Well, I think these models look pretty cool. I know nothing about either one of them. Who's Maverick?
Maverick,
Who's this?
Maverick went through the Weapon X program as well. He mostly is a mercenary who has no morals and will work for whoever pays him the most. And he shoots guns and he wears a mask.
So he's gonna have a size 4 throw.
Maybe. Probably not. And his mutant power is
healing?
Regeneration.
I don't remember. I was hoping someone would fill that in for me.
Oh,
no,
okay.
come on.
He never uses whatever it is.
Well, let's move on. Let's move on to the next picture. All right. So we've got Sunspot and Warlock.
Which one's which,
I would have been
Fred?
much. I would have been.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Warlock is going to be the one with the big fireball coming out of his hand because I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Right?
No.
No.
Oh, I'm wrong.
You're
Okay.
very wrong. So you're thinking of Adam Warlock. This is a common mistake. Warlock is the gold and black robot thingy there.
Oh. It's the that guy. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
He is a
I
shape.
really thought Sunspot would give the other one away, but here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I had in my head Adam Warlock, which is, let's be honest, a pretty easy mistake to make if the other character is just called Warlock,
Yes.
and he kind of looks like that. The other guy. I mean, he looks a lot more like the other guy than the first guy. Let's be honest. Process of elimination.
True.
I was surprised they put Sunspot in here and not Cypher.
It is weird that these two are teamed up, but they did run away together one time. So,
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What are the possible affiliations for these two characters?
well, that for when they were talking about this slide, they mentioned that we're going to get a new affiliation called the New Mutants, and that Magic will be there too. And
Okay.
I don't know who else.
Isn't Danny going to be part of that?
They've not revealed her, but
Or Cannonball would have to be part of that too.
yeah, but once again, not been revealed.
Yeah, but you know what's happening. Come
Yeah.
on. We can prognosticate this.
Oh, apparently Maverick's mutant power is kinetic absorption and kinetic energy absorption and conversion and redistribution.
Oh, okay.
Fred's like, do I really need to know this?
Warlock is a shape changer, and he turns organic matter into robots so he can eat it.
Wait, so he chooses to look like that?
No, that's his race.
Yeah, that's his
Oh, okay.
that's his natural form.
Okay.
But he changes shape specifically, not color, not anything like that, just shape.
So he would be the same color? Wait, what are you specifying?
Yeah, he'll turn into a car and they'll drive him around. But he's a black and yellow car with circuitry.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
You know how Mystique can shape change into people?
Uh-huh.
He can shape change into things.
Okay.
But he's
So if I walk into a room and there's just a black and yellow armoire that wasn't there beforehand, it's Warlock.
and it will have circuitry on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Boy, this shape-changing ability he has seems very unusable. I guess it's not necessarily for subterfuge. You say
No.
they drive him around.
Yeah, he mostly turns into vehicles for them.
Okay.
But just think if Mystique changed into somebody, but she couldn't change her skin color. That's what Brad's trying to relate to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunspot absorbs solar energy, and when he activates his power, he gets very strong and turns jet black. And then later he can, as we see in here, shoot that energy as flame burst type things and fly.
Okay, cool.
And
I think these models look very cool.
Sunspot specifically,
Sunspot
that's
specifically,
awesome.
Yeah.
That
looks
is so
great.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a new mutant team.
Of course.
Oh,
all right, let's move on.
It's also
yeah.
worth noting that the Sunspot costume he's in is during his time on X-Force, so he's probably X-Force affiliated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the big guy. They've got Apocalypse coming. Yeah, in Q3 2024. So apparently also he will have a leadership, right? And
They didn't specifically say that, but they basically did when they said that you can take different models as his horsemen, and
right.
he said, Will Schick said, you take powerful characters and then you give them more roles.
Yeah. They become his horsemen.
Yeah. He has
What are those
multiple.
two oh,
Oh,
sorry,
they
go ahead.
literally never mentioned the statues, Fred. Never once did they
Ah.
say anything.
Yeah, there are two statues behind him for those of you who are listening.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
They
Will
probably
he come with
just
terrain pieces?
that he must come with terrain pieces. He also comes with
Yeah.
multiple arm options
Okay.
because he's a shapeshifter. And by that I mean he mostly turns his arms into weapons, Fred. He
Right.
also can get a little bit bigger.
Okay.
He's gonna have an ultimate encounter for if you really want to just fight Apocalypse.
That'll be cool.
That will be
Those
cool.
are fun.
I'm trying to think of all the things they told us. I'm very excited for this, and I'm not even the most excited out of our group for this.
Yeah, this is Jared's guy, right?
He's already changed his Discord picture.
Which has been an absolute curse for him. I don't know why he preemptively did it.
Yeah, he previously changed it to the Sentinels.
This has only worked very negatively for him in the past. I don't know why he jumped the gun.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that Apocalypse is going to be garbage. We don't know.
If
We're
Jared
just, we're
Street-
I
just
mean, odds of him
speculating.
being below a 6th threat is very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
And they either make broken or awful above, like 6s and above.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yep, that's Apocalypse. Okay. This is a piece of terrain. This is the Shrine to Insaba Nur terrain pack.
Fred, who is
hey,
in
Brad.
Sabanur?
No clue. I was about to ask you who that was.
It's Apocalypse.
Okay. Why is Insaba Nur? What is that in reference to?
He's Egyptian.
Okay.
He
Okay.
is Egyptian. That in the comics they said that means the first one. In reference to him being the first mutant, which first of all, he's not even the first mutant. And second of all, that is not what it translates to. And third, it's not a language that would have existed at the time. So like there's just so many things wrong with that, but whatever.
Yeah.
To fix everything,
All right,
Apocalypse is the first mutant of the current age.
Okay.
I don't know what that
thank you
means.
for that clarification.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool terrain.
Yeah, cool terrain. Do you think that's a size 4 or a size 5?
It
It looks like a size 5
Yeah.
to me.
And,
All right, let's move
and
on.
those other
and
things
2
might
little
be
boxes.
2s.
Yeah. Okay, so the next pack is Angel and Archangel. These models look great. They look really cool. Like, especially... all right, Brad, I'm going to show my ass here. Which one's which?
Wow. No.
Okay, this is an easy guess,
Too
Fred.
easy. God, this is so easy. Don't do this to yourself, Fred. You're better
Okay.
than that.
So Angel is the one with the feathered wings that are looking up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Archangel is the one with the more metallic wings that are bat-like, like look like Batman, but not
Okay,
quite.
Fred.
They are.
I'm
They
gonna
are
ask-
metal wings.
I have a question for Fred.
Yeah, what's that?
So besides the wings and obviously flying, what do these two characters have in common?
No clue. The name Angel being part of their name.
Nope.
They're the same
No,
person,
I'm actively correct about that, good sir.
You are
They're
the
Fred,
exact same
Fred,
person.
these two characters are related in the comics.
Okay.
Can you guess their
Father and son?
relationship?
Are they father and son?
No.
Fred, have you listened to a word I'm trying to tell you?
Are they brothers or siblings? I should say.
Fred. They are the exact same person. Stop letting them mess with you. They are the same person.
It
They're
is
the same person.
Fred. It is before and after he was made a
Apocalypse.
horseman of apocalypse.
Oh, okay. I see.
Did they confirm that they were going to be two different characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, two different
So-
models, two different rules.
That's all I needed to know.
But you
I
can't
will
have them.
officially play mutants. So
Can you not have them both on the table at the same time? Because
Probably
they would be the same
not,
person.
but they're probably both affiliated X-Men.
Okay.
one should be affiliated X-Force.
Yes, Archangel should be.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I?
Sorry, I didn't. I forgot I had to clarify for Fred.
Yeah. Well, and some of the listeners.
That's fair. It's actually really funny because if you Google X-Force members, Archangel's like the second one on the list.
Okay.
Which I thought was an interesting thing.
And I
this is
bet-
the only mutant I've realistically been waiting for, so
I bet that they are different point costs too. Like Angel's probably
Archangel should be stronger.
Yeah, Angel's probably a 3 and Archangel's probably a 4.
That would be my guess as well when we do that portion of.
Well, they appear to be on medium-sized bases, and the models look awesome. Are those?
Oh,
Do you think those are large-sized bases?
no, they're medium.
They're mediums.
I
Yeah.
recognize those. Fred, do you know how Angel became Archangel besides Apocalypse?
Ah.
So
Is it adamantium related?
no.
Can I guess?
Okay.
Sure. Brandon, go ahead and guess.
Did he make a deal with Apocalypse because he wanted to lose his powers?
No.
His wings got ripped off.
Kind of.
Oh God.
Okay, so Brandon has seen the animated series where that's what happened on it. But
That is what happened in the animated series.
Angel was pinned to the wall by his wings, and they were so damaged that they were causing him to die. So his evil high school roommate, who subtextually was obviously in love with him, has his wings amputated to save his life. They probably could have saved his life anyway. And so Angel goes flying in a plane, and it blows up, and that everyone thinks he committed suicide. But the plane blowing up was Apocalypse kidnapping him to make him into his Horseman of Death.
Yeah, I'll say he was Death, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a really
How
good
bleak.
storyline. It is. It is bleak.
All right.
Want to move on?
Brad's the one person here that really knows how good today was for me in this game.
Oh yeah.
I got about everything I've ever wanted in the last this and the Namor release a couple weeks ago, right? That in combination with this, I got pretty much in this. Not just this, but everyone from here on that we talk about is pretty much everything I've been wanting. So.
The only person who got more out of today than you was Michael, who wanted exactly one character in this game, and they got announced today.
That's true.
I bet I know which one.
I got a lot of people out of it too.
Yes.
It's on this release thing. All right, so the next thing we're looking at right here is the Tomb of Dracula characters.
Woo!
Yeah.
This
So
is a
this
cool
is-
pack.
Yeah, these are the Universal horror monsters,
The
right?
spook.
Marvel
the spook-
versions.
Yeah,
The
Marvel's,
spooky.
Marvel's monsters.
Yeah, Marvel's. I see Dracula. There's a
Okay,
mummy,
wait,
there's
Fred.
a Frankenstein's
Fred,
monster.
Fred, you're guessing the names, but I want to tell you if you're right or wrong.
Okay.
So who was the first
Okay.
one?
Dracula.
And which one is he?
I know that he bottom right.
That is correct.
I know that Dracula exists in this, and I've seen what he looks like.
Fred's
I'm
been
aware
around.
of
I've
Dracula.
been talking about Dracula for a long time. Fred's been around long enough to know that I've
Yeah.
been asking for this character forever.
Right. Who's next, Fred?
Okay. Let's go with Frankenstein's monster as the top right.
Yeah, that's his name in the game. I mean,
Really?
in the comics.
Okay.
He's called Frankenstein's monster, and I know him primarily as an X-Men villain, and by that I mean they fought him in one issue in the 60s.
Oh boy. Okay. Next up is I don't know. I feel like so it's the mummy that is to the left of Frankenstein's monster, and I'm gonna say I know this is wrong. Nyarlathotep.
No, he is called the Living Mummy.
Oh boy, that's much worse. Okay, the living mummy.
Yeah.
At least normal people can read that, Fred.
Normal people can. There are some people out there who will know who I mean when I say Nyarlathotep.
Is that the mummy from
You
the
try-
Mummy?
No, it's the mummy from the Call of Cthulhu universe.
Oh, okay.
It's not. He's not a mummy. He's.
You really
like
tried
the
to just
creeping
say that
chaos.
normal people would know that, though. I
No,
want that to
the,
be
the
noted.
mummy is Nefren Ka from Call of Cthulhu mythos. I know who you're talking.
correct. You're correct. Who I'm talking about is the creeping chaos.
Yeah, he's
mini
Egyptian
masks.
related, but he's not exactly a mummy.
He's not the mummy. You're right. You're right.
Oh, so Fred was even wrong in what he said.
I was even wrong in what I was saying.
All right,
Like
Fred,
a-
you got one more.
The werewolf.
You should know this one. He was in the
You really
MCU.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was he in the MCU?
He has a
He has a
special
whole- yeah.
on Disney Plus.
Well,
That's-
I've not watched it.
It's really good, Fred.
You
You should watch
You
it.
should. It is really good. 3 characters from that show were actually put into this today,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
right?
Yeah.
Is it-
We got to get to the other two.
Yeah, the rest are not in this picture. Sorry.
Fred, his name is Werewolf by Night.
He's Werewolf by Night.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do you
That's
know
a-
what
that's a
Werewolf by
weird
Night's
name.
real name is?
Nope.
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be relevant? Like,
Like
Do I know- do I
like
know
a
who that
Jack
is?
Russell Terrier.
oh god. Oh god.
Uh
Okay.
But watch the special in black and white. There's a color version, but watch the black and white one.
Okay.
That's your homework.
Brad, am I misremembering, or didn't this character get in a fight with Gambit and Moon Knight in a pool hall at
That
one point in time?
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I think that's probably right. Also, if you are viewing this and you see this beautiful artwork here on the right, that the box comes with 4 tactics cards, and that is if you put the 4
Oh, did they
tactics
make that art?
They make that art.
Oh god, this pack is everything.
And do you see the location in the background of that? Like the ruined castle with the stairwell.
Yes. Well, look at that. That's the next piece of terrain we're looking at. The Tomb of Dracula Castle. This terrain piece is
Did you know
intense.
Dracula had a castle, Fred?
I yes, I did. I
Okay,
figured
I
that
was-
would be the case.
Did you know that Dracula
yes.
owes Moon Knight money?
Wait, really?
Yep.
Okay, so what are your
Ideally,
thoughts on
not
this
a
terrain,
fight
Chris?
that Moon Knight really wants to be a part of, but
Yeah.
it's gonna have rules, right?
It's gotta have rules.
all terrain from now on comes with rules.
Okay.
If it's size 4 and I have a feeling it's gonna be uninteractable though.
The big thing they talked about during the presentation was how big this is.
Yeah.
How it's just a giant piece of terrain. So there's no way it's a 4.
It does look like there's multiple, and I mean like at least 4 different places you can place in this terrain. Like it looks like there's 3 different parts on the stairs you're gonna be able to place a model, plus on the bottom floor. So
Yeah, if you are on the bottom floor and let's say Winter Soldier is shooting at you at range 5, do you have cover? Because you're on top of a piece of terrain?
Yes. Yeah.
That seems weird.
Well, maybe Winter Soldier shouldn't be shooting then.
Well, and it should be you should be able to move and block people from shooting you as well. I really like this piece of terrain. If there are like places to play, if you can play in it with other models, place in it with other models and have a wall defending you from outside of attacks. I actually really like that.
I don't think that's how it's going to work. Not to rain
It
on
would
your
block
parade.
line of sight.
I don't think that's how it works. I think it's exactly
okay.
like standing on top of an apartment building.
So you could be on one side of it, and someone could be on the other and shoot you.
Yeah.
So you're saying you could shoot through the wall?
Yes.
Yeah,
because it's not treated like a wall.
Nope. I'm out.
It's treated like one big piece of terrain.
Yep. If that's the case, I'm 100% out. I think that is dumb as hell, and I would actually be really, really upset.
They
I
did
think that is super stupid.
They did mention that this is a good place to display your models while you're not using them too.
Yep, that's what you can do with it. Don't put this on a table if that's the case.
all right. Let's move on. Okay, so check out this big boy. This is Mephisto, the deal maker.
And Fred, who is Mephisto?
Well, he's the guy who made a deal with magic, and he used to be the king of Limbo, and then she dethroned him?
No, that's Belasco.
Oh, that's Belasco.
All of that's Belasco.
There's another character in the game.
Which is really cool that you knew that information, but
it
could not be
wrong.
It could not be further from the truth. I was really confused on what you were.
So,
I was like,
Fred,
the reason all of that, there must be some character compression that took place in the game, the Midnight Suns, because Mephisto is that character in the Midnight Suns.
Yeah. Belasco is the Marvel Universe's version of the devil. So who is Mephisto?
I guess not the devil.
No, he's also Marvel's version of the devil.
Oh, okay, because
they have
as confusing as can be.
They have like 5 or 6 devils.
Yeah, isn't there also one below all?
Yeah, that is that.
Isn't that also the devil?
There's one that is Blackout's dad, who is a Ghost Rider character. And then there, of course, is just Satan.
Son of Satan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Satan. But Mephisto, we don't know much.
We know that he's coming.
Yeah, we know he's coming.
Mephisto gave Ghost Rider the power, though.
He's probably going to have a leadership. Mephisto's probably going to have a leadership.
Yeah, probably. I've got a question before we move on. Do you think that's a huge base?
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Yeah, that's a 65.
Yeah, that's a huge base. So he's going to be a big boy.
He can appear human sized, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to make him giant.
Okay.
He also could be the highest threat value character we've got in this game.
You think he's a 9?
I said he could be.
I mean, he could be.
I'll save
right.
my educated guess for when we do that.
Oh yes.
All right. So here's Elsa and Man Thing.
Which
Let me
one's
guess which one's which.
Yeah, go ahead, Fred.
Yeah. Okay.
That
I'm gonna
sure
guess
is.
that Man Thing
That sure
is
is
the one
a.
on the left.
That sure is a giant-sized man thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious which one's which. For those of you who are listening, Elsa is a redheaded woman and with a gun over her shoulder, and Man Thing is a big, giant, creeping, moss-covered man thing. Man Thing is actually a
for the
very
record.
good. What?
The shotgun for the record.
It is
okay.
It is a shotgun.
Okay. I was not incorrect.
No.
No.
They said that. I think specifically Elsa, but they may not have said that. This box comes with a new Midnight Suns leadership. I think they said it was Elsa.
If they
That
did
would
not
make sense.
specify, they meant to specify that it would be Elsa Bloodstone.
So,
Which is
who's
Interesting
Elsa?
that is not her name. That it's just Elsa.
It's not Elsa Bloodstone?
I
Is
bet
that what
it
it's supposed to
is
be?
on the card.
Yeah, because they've put everything else on this text wall, like full names. Because they even put like the full name for Namor and Black Panther.
Oh, that's a
which
good
is
point.
A paragraph,
But
which is a literal paragraph.
But
You
we
put both of those
only
together.
have art for these guys, so they may not have gone into that as much detail.
Yeah,
Right,
they don't
it
come out
is-
till the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
It's early 2025, so yeah, these are much further away. Man Thing looks pretty cool. Who is
Elsa.
Elsa? Who is Elsa? What is this?
Monster
She
What am I
Hunter.
looking at?
Yeah.
Like
Monster
a Van
Hunter.
Helsing's?
Monster Hunter from a long line of Monster Hunters. She is
Okay.
effectively immortal as long as she holds on to her bloodstone.
Okay.
Fred, these two characters are in the show that the guys were recommending you watch.
Werewolf,
okay.
Werewolf by
These are
Night.
the other two. These are the other two referenced characters. Also, very excited that these characters have appeared. This was a really good day for me. I'm pretty happy with all things that have happened MCP wise today.
Lots of spooky people.
It's really
Yeah.
unfortunate because it's getting me right into my root. It's a good time to. I said I was going to retire Syndicate, and this is a good time because they're giving me everything else I've asked for in this game since Inception.
All right, let's move on to the next picture. And we've got Nova and Yondu. All
You
right.
can get this one, Fred. Which one's which?
Yondu is the guy with the rocket mohawk on the right and the arrow
Good.
and a bow. He has a bow.
Yeah, he does in the comics.
Okay. And then I guess Nova's whoever that other person is.
Yeah, he's basically the Marvel version of Green Lantern.
okay.
There's a Nova Corps, and they protect the universe.
Oh, the Nova Corps. That was said a couple times
Yeah.
in one of the
They-
Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
A couple
like all
of
of
them.
the Guardians, like all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
They have
Yeah.
they have gravity powers.
Okay. Well,
This is not one of the boxes I'm excited about. but a lot of people are, so.
Yondu is a new Guardians leader.
Yep.
That's
New
important.
Guardians leader. The Guardians of the Galaxy have so many models and one leadership, and then they're the opposite of Wakanda.
Oh
who
my
have
God.
so many leaderships and so few models.
Okay. That's it. That's all our reveals for MCP.
All right.
All right, now let's get started on the Shatterpoint ones.
You didn't even tell the people what model Michael was excited for.
Oh,
it's the werewolf, right?
it's Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
I just feel like someone would be like, "Hey, what was the model?"
Michael played a D&D character for a while who was basically a werewolf.
I don't know if you know this, Fred, but other people listen to the show that don't actually know who Michael is.
Michael's our friend. He's part of the meta. He's a good dude.
He's great people, but I
Yeah.
felt like that was a cliffhanger that I was just waiting for Brad to like finish and just did it.
I just forgot about it.
All right. So there was quite a bit to go through. Now, before we move on to the character that we are going to cover today, I wanted to give let's talk about games we've played recently. Let's make it pretty quick because we're going to be going very long today if we don't. I wanted to bring this up just because we did play some games in the Gemnastics League that Brad is running. That is
I can go first.
Okay. Brandon, why don't you go first?
Cool. I haven't played any games since the Akron Brew Brawl.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. That was very helpful.
My pleasure. I'm
all
done.
right.
Go ahead,
So
guys.
what the Gemnastics League is, for those of you who are listening, is you get to take as many of these stones as you want, and you can put them on anyone. The first one's free, and then it's one threat for each one after the first, and each character can only have one stone. I played a game against Aaron, and I was playing my spider foes with just Reality Stone on Green Goblin, and Aaron was playing with every stone on 4 models, which was a little bit of a whoopsie, because but it was still a fun game. And let me just say that even though I had more models, was wider than him, and I felt like I was gonna do great this game, he absolutely annihilated me. And it's largely because everyone had so much power on his side. Having all that extra power from the stones just gave him such a huge advantage. And then also being able to like mind stone away my guys and then space stone your own people around. I was just completely outclassed in this fight, and he destroyed me on the table. All right. So that's how my game went. I know that Brad played a Gemnastics game.
I did. I played X-Men. I put Reality on Psylocke. I also played Cyclops, Shadowcat, and Nightcrawler. And my opponent Borka played Guardians, and he put Reality on Rocket. He also played Groot, Star-Lord, and put the Power Stone on Cosmic Ghost Rider. And if you want to roll back Cosmic Ghost Rider to what he was pre-nerf, just put the Power Stone on him. He completely wiped me off the table. I was quite ahead on points, but it didn't matter because I didn't have any models left.
Because
it was the same.
Died.
Everybody died.
Same circumstance with my game against Aaron. Is I was up on victory points and I had one model on the table. So
I did manage to daze Cosmic Ghost Rider and Star-Lord before I died,
but still,
yeah.
Power Stone on Cosmic Ghost Rider is gonna make it so that the Gemnastics League is broken.
Is not fun. Yeah. The only thing worse is Mind on Kingpin.
I don't care. Everyone says that's a good one. It's a good one. If it makes you guys feel any better, I was going to play the Reality Stone on Daredevil, and
Which Daredevil?
Defender's Daredevil.
Oh, okay, that sucks.
I figured if he blocks on everything but hits, it's probably a really good spot to be in.
Yeah, that's true. Steven, do you want to talk about what you did today?
Well, I went to a tournament in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half from me, so not too long of a drive. 8 people showed up. Also, our friend of the podcast, Les, who won the tournament, and I played him in the second round of the tournament. I went 1 and 2 on the day. I was playing Web Warriors and Defenders, and I definitely got onto some scenarios I didn't like in 2 of my games. So, and I started out with 20 dice in the tournament, and 13 of those dice ended up in dice jail.
Oh no. Oh no.
So that can tell you how my games went.
Uh-huh.
Was
Yeah.
Les still playing Brotherhood?
No, Les was playing Xavier X-Men,
Oh.
Ooh.
and he played Xavier, Magic, Rogue, in our game at least, Baron Zemo, and let me add up the points. So 4, 4, 3, 3, that's 14, 17. Who was it? Oh, Domino. Yeah.
Can we even consider Brad like the #1 X-Men player around here if he's like the last person to actually try to play Xavier?
I did try
Well,
Xavier.
here's what he did. He would.
Since his release, sorry, let me add that to my statement.
I think Magic is the sauce that starts the train for Xavier because she does a one place bump past that power in our game for the first turn. Pass that power to Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo then does a charge. Pass that power to Rogue. Rogue does a charge. You get what I'm saying? So, but anyway, it was
Wait,
very effective.
I'm confused. I thought that his leadership was you passed it to him.
No.
No.
Oh. You just pass it to another person?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Then yeah, that's great.
So anyway, and we fought on Researcher, which was it wasn't the greatest because I was playing Spiders and Defenders, and I probably played the wrong faction. But my dice were terrible. Like I said, 13 went into dice jail. So
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
for
That
those
feels so
people,
bad.
for people who do not know, if I roll dice and there are more than one skull in the roll, I take all the skulls out and I put them in dice jail, and they never come out to play again.
I've done that, and then I ran out of dice like a turn later. So
And that's when you go front and buy a new pack of dice.
I already own 30 plus dice. I don't need any more.
Yeah. So,
All right.
but we had a good time. I made a commitment to go out there on Tuesday for their game night. So just to pal around and fool around with a couple of things. So
Playing going to their thing in Dragon's Lair at Erie, Pennsylvania.
yeah, like I said, it's only an hour and a half drive, so I mean it's not too taxing.
Okay. All right. So those are the games that we've played recently. Before we move on, we have a new segment that we're going to do. It's a segment that's called Recalibration Matrix, where we get to revisit characters that we've done in the past if they need revisiting. And today, we're going to talk about Elektra. So I wasn't actually on the episode where we did Elektra previously, but I mean, we were all very down on her as she was at release because she was not very good. She had very bad ways to generate power. She couldn't really generate power all that well. And her defenses were not great. I think that they changed her physical defense up to 4. It used to be 3. And they gave her ancient throwing blades a gainer rule. Were there any any other changes that they made with her? I can't remember what they changed.
They took a pierce off of her builder,
They got it's still
or
got, it's
pierce
still
or
got
bleed.
Oh,
Took
it
off the
must be
bleed.
Pierce. Oh, I mean, it must be bleed. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
'cause-
took off bleed off her builder.
okay,
I,
yeah,
gainer, I should say.
I think it's fine the way that it is now. The way that it is now is substantially better than it was. we were giving her very low marks. I don't have pulled up what we gave her, but it was pretty low, and I think too low for how she stands right now in the meta. Uh, I mean, I've seen this done to me, Steven, where she uses those ancient throwing blades to do 1 damage. She gains 2 power from that because of the out for blood rule. Uses Assassin Step to teleport using that 2 power, and then, assuming she had 5 power at the beginning, impale the character that she did that to. That's a pretty strong little combo. And then on top of that, when she's doing the ancient throwing blades, she can throw out her hand ninjas next to the character. Oh, next to this character.
Yeah, but you're going to place them towards the opposition.
Right. Yeah, still, you can usually get them within range to buff her impale.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can stack it so that you teleport first.
Okay.
True.
You
Yeah.
can do it that way.
Yeah. Also, Fred, we gave her overall a C- before.
Oh, really? That's not as bad as I was thinking.
Jason
There
White.
was a pretty biased party on that episode.
Yeah, Jason was on the episode, was very hyped for her, and kind of
skewed
the
the
numbers.
numbers.
skewed us.
Well, I think that the new version is better than a C-. I think
How
she's
much better?
easily. I think a C+ is much more in range.
All right, we got Fred's.
I want to give her a C+. Listen, she's good. She's better than she was. I still think she's kind of a niche piece. I'd like other people to talk about her. Brad, why don't you talk about her real quick? Just give some thoughts.
We were way too nice to her the first time. She should have been a D. And part of this recalibration matrix was to say that she is now probably in the C range. I would give her just a C, a regular C.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
I will agree. I think a D may have been generous. She was one of the worst models in the game prior to the buff. However, she has grunts, and grunts are great. I would have definitely given her probably like a D or a D-. Originally, I also wasn't on that episode. I think a C is pretty fair now. So I think I'll agree with that. Mainly because I think it's hard. I think Shadowland Daredevil is just so much better. But she does do a lot of good things. She is a very, very playable piece now.
I will agree with that assessment. But now I'd like for Steven to tell us why we are all wrong. Steven.
There's a couple of things that she has over Shadowlands Daredevil, and I'm not saying she's on that level, but she does bring a mystic attack, which is somewhat useful. It was very useful at the Akron Brew Brawl against Mystique, for example, in getting her off the table. She's very good into martial artist, which Daredevil would not be. I would counter. So I do like her for that, and she does bring grunts. I'm probably in the B- category, to tell you the truth. Maybe creeping up to a B, but B- seems to be where I would put her.
Grunts are really good.
In this case, we were very down on her beforehand, and after she was reworked, we're a little more up on her. She's
playable
I believe
now.
She's playable.
She is much better than she was.
That is definitely the case.
And like if you have a team, like when she fits into a situation, she can really shine a lot more so than some characters will be able to.
Yeah, she's really good. Like if you lose priority and there's a lot of extract objectives on the table, she gives you that chance to draw even. because they'll go and grab one unless they have ninjas. Thank you, Brandon. But if your opponent has not brought grunts that grab extracts like Nick
Ninjas
Fury,
are great.
yeah. So your opponent will take the first turn and grab one, and then you can take the second turn and grab two.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it becomes a more even game.
I can't remember the last time I grabbed one of the extracts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been so long.
Just for that alone, it's worth it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like where she's actually in like now she's a competent character behind it. It's she's definitely worth like especially because Elektra's a very popular character. Like if you like this character, she is very playable now.
Yeah.
She was not originally. At all.
Okay, so that is our recalibration matrix on Electra. I think that's I think we're in a better spot. I like her better where we're putting her. And I think that the time has come for us to move on to the person we're here to cover today, and that is Scarlet Spider, otherwise known as Ben Riley. So bear with us. We're looking at only the front of this card, but like I said, it's very likely that the back is very similar. His defenses are 4 physical, 3 energy, and 3 mystic. He has 6 stamina on his front. We don't know what's on his back. He is a threat value of 4, size 2, and he has a movement speed of medium. Hey Brad, why don't you do his attacks?
His first attack is physical, called Scarlet Strike. Range 2, 5 dice. It's free. Gain power equal to damage dealt.
I think it's a wild hit.
Yeah, I think
but it
it's a
might be
wild
wrong.
hit elusive. After the attack is resolved, this character can advance short. How much am I doing?
Do the first 2.
His second attack is also physical, impact webbing. Range 4, 4 dice, cost 0. It gains 1 power, has wild push before damage is dealt. Size 2 or less, push away short.
Okay. Hey, Brandon, why don't you do that last attack and the first superpower?
His spender is whatever a spider can. It is ranged to 8 dice. It costs 5 power. After this attack is resolved, the character may advance medium. Has a wild catch trigger. After this attack is resolved, you may choose an interactive terrain feature size 2 or less within 3 of this character and destroy it. The target character suffers a collision as if the terrain feature were thrown into it. His first superpower is Web Whip. It costs 2 power. You choose an enemy character within 3 and in line of sight. Push it towards this character short, then place this character with one of the enemy character. You can only use this once per turn.
Okay, and Steven, why don't you finish out the card?
Proportionate strength of a spider. It costs 3 power. Choose an enemy character of size 3 or less within 3 and throw it short. This superpower can only be used once per turn. Innate superpower of Spider Sense. When this character is defending against a physical or energy attack, or making a dodge roll, it may re-roll up to 2 of its defense or dodge dice, and an innate ability, Wall Crawler.
All right, so that is the Scarlet Spider. Oh, okay. What here sets him apart from the large number of other web warriors that have similar rules on here? Like what makes him different?
He has all of the things.
He has everything that they want, right?
So he's got a push in a place on the same power. He's got a character throw. He still has spider sense, which you can stack with Miles. He has the really good spender that they gave to Spectacular Spider-Man, right?
No, Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing,
It's
yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all of them confused. So it's got the good thing. It's got the range 4 attack. He's got the Scarlet Strike, which is a 1 die better version of is it Gwen's that size 4? Is it just 2 4 dice?
Yeah, Gwen.
Yeah.
She's a 4 dice. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just got a little bit of everything. I mean, as far as me, it looks like they just took all of the spider people and were like, let's just kind of pick all of the best things. I do like that he doesn't have web swing, like just the range 3 place, because that can, I just like more models with that, and Web Warriors is just gonna get more gross, and it's just not something I wanted to deal
Well,
with in
he
life.
kind of does though.
Yeah, I like the pull and stuff. I like the pull because like I like that the pull you have to place, because if you are fighting over a point and you pull them back, like you're not placing like super far ahead. Um, I like that it's a lot more situational, and where it's a push, like you have to have like a clear line and stuff. So I think it's a lot. I like that it's not as free as just the place within range 3, and you can go over big terrain. Like Miles can get away from people just with that alone, and I like that that's not something they kept on this.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, and also with Web Whip, there needs to be an opponent there to do it to. Like, you can't just Web Whip to move like you could with a Web Swing where you just place yourself. You have to do it to an opponent. So
Yeah, so like if you daze a character, you can't then do this to like get away. Like you're kind of trapped in the scenario. Like you can't like you have to have a hell like an alive character as well.
can you not place this character within range 1? Oh yeah, you couldn't target an enemy, a dazed character with this. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep. Yeah. And he's got the proportionate strength of a spider, which is what the spectacular Spider-Man has. The character throw. Yeah. Hey Brad, what are your thoughts here on Scarlet Spider?
I think he's probably gonna get played in faction a lot. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got throw. His place is tricky, but like his attacks are good. He's got the rerolls. I think it's one of those things where like you probably play either him or spectacular depending on points and what else you want to play, and it gives you some flex.
Or you play both.
You could play both, depending on. I mean, it just depends on what you want.
Mhm.
It's just a really easy swap between 3-point spectacular and 4-point Scarlet Spider, depending because there's a lot of similarities based on
Well, I
what
think
you want.
I think he comes into the meta and he replaces all the people who are now playing Amazing Spider-Man because he costs less and he does about the same thing.
Amazing still has excellent uh uh what are they called, the flips. He's still
Pay to
really,
flip?
yeah, he's still really good on the pay to flips, and
Mhm.
Scarlet Spider's not doing that.
That's true.
Sure, but still, I mean, I I like I like using Amazing Spider-Man as an assassin actually.
If that's the use that you're looking for, then this guy is going to do that one threat cheaper
Hmm.
because he can get up to whatever a spider can. Now, how often do you think he's going to be doing whatever a spider can at 5 power?
Not often.
Yeah, I think that that's going to happen once a game. It's when he's dazed. Maybe. Because he's going to be pretty power hungry. He's going to be throwing enemy characters that cost 3 power and web whipping a lot, which costs 2. So he's going to be burning through his power pretty regularly.
He's like any other spider. He's not gonna have enough power to do all the things you want to do.
Yeah, you're right. He plays just like every other web warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Steven, well, you did just give a take.
Hmm. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you want to say anything else about him?
I see. The only detriment I see to him is that he's a medium mover.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Is
that
he on a
gives.
small base or a medium
Yeah,
base?
I was gonna ask, do we know what size his base is?
I'd imagine. I imagine it's 35.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
This was until that Venomized card got spoiled. This is a box that I actually didn't need to buy, but here we are.
Yeah.
I assume that's in this box for the record. I
Yes,
guess
it is.
Okay.
Brandon,
Is
print
it
it.
Gwenum?
Just print it.
Yeah, have you met me before? Like ever? I don't know. I mean, I do have all the Web Warriors, so it's probably worth it to have it just to keep that continuum going. But I think this is a good model. I'm sure Gwenum will be a good model. That Tactics card is really, really good. I guess I'm hopeful that this box doesn't have like Web Warrior specific cards in it because they're already really good faction.
Yeah, I know.
Like they don't need help. Like having a 4 fighting with other of their really good 4s, I think is fine. I just need them not to get any more. Especially if Gwenum's like a 2 for some reason, and then they just get like a busted 2, which I don't think will happen. But
No.
just
Out
that's
of,
like
out
worst
of,
case scenario.
out of all the 4s in Web Warriors, did you ever think that Venom would be at the bottom of the list?
He's
Oh
not.
boy. He's ahead of the 4-point Spider-Man.
4-point
I don't count.
Peter.
There's a core box Peter Parker in there.
I don't count that. That's not a card. Anyway, but
The fact of the matter is this is like the 5th really good 4 that they have.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Woman, Agent Venom, Venom are all really, really good. Daredevil's really, really good.
Yep.
Like it's literally core box Peter Parker's honestly the only bad model in that affiliation.
Yeah.
I forgot about Daredevil.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a rockin' affiliation. It's an amazing affiliation.
Brad
There's
having
a reason
more of a
it's such a
recollection of like Jesus Christ. You
Yeah.
can now, with Ben Riley, you're going to be able to play a really thick Web Warriors list and actually, like, just beat people up with, like, Amazing Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, like, Daredevil, and, like, people. Also a pretty good chance Scarlet Spider's also a defender. Is that right?
Ooh. I have no idea.
Who?
No,
Wait, what was the question?
Whether he'll be a defender or not. Scarlet Spider.
Shouldn't be.
No,
I
don't
couldn't
think
remember
so.
if he was one of the ones that was on the team or not. I know a bunch of the Spider-Men have been a part of Defenders. I didn't know if Ben Riley was a part of one of them.
Well, we need to give this guy a letter grade. This guy is, I mean, he seems real solid. I think that during an all webbed up turn, if he can get off whatever a spider can during all webbed up, he's gonna kill something. No question. It would be like a murder. I think he's very good. I'm gonna give him a gentleman's A. Gentleman's A. That's what I'm gonna give him. All right, Brandon, what are your thoughts here on Scarlet Spider?
I mean, I think he does a lot of really good stuff. I think he will be fighting for spots in his affiliation. I'm not sure how much he gets splashed. I'm gonna go with a B.
Okay. Alrighty. Brad, what are your thoughts?
Did you say Brad?
I did.
Okay,
Yes.
you cut off and I wasn't sure. So I think he'll see a lot of play in Web Warriors, and probably not much anywhere else. So I'm going to give him a Scoundrels B.
Okay. And Steven, what are your thoughts here on Scarlet Spider?
Oh, I'm in the B territory too. Maybe even a B minus because he doesn't have ninjas.
Ninjas are good. If he had
Yeah,
grunts that were spiders, he'd be a lot better.
Spider grunts.
Oh my gosh, we could get Superior Spider-Man with Spider Robot grunts. That would be
Yeah, I would say
awesome.
Superior would have the robot grunts, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be cool.
Oh boy.
It would also be our third character in the game with the same alias if that happened.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the alias on that one.
Put a slash by it.
Yeah, they might count as both. Superior Spider-Man could actually get me to play Web Warriors. I love Superior Spider-Man.
And Fred has no idea who we're talking about.
Nope,
no,
no
he
clue.
doesn't have a clue what's going on anymore.
No idea. Okay, Brad, do you have any comic book recommendations?
I do. Sorry, I didn't have it up. Okay, I have 3 recommendations. I was really excited for Scarlet Witch today because I was going to get to say that I read all of the Scarlet Witch stuff that I was recommending, which is not always true. I try to pick stuff I have read, but I can't always do that. So I have 3 I have 3 Ben Riley stories. Technically, only one of these stories is he called Scarlet Spider. But the first one is Amazing Spider-Man 149. This is Jerry Conway and Ross Andrew. This is his first appearance. He is created by the Jackal. And he thinks he's the real Spider-Man. But of course, Peter Parker also thinks he's the real Spider-Man. And they have to fight to the death. And it seems like one of them dies at the end of this issue. Whatever.
Brad's run out of gas, guys.
Who dies? And who's the real Spider-Man? You have to read some comics I'm not recommending to find that out. Next is Web of Spider-Man 118. This is Terry Kavanagh and Stephen Butler. Venom is loosed and terrorizing New York City, and Peter Parker Spider-Man is missing. So Ben steps up, becomes the Scarlet Spider, and attempts to stop Venom. That's it. That's that
Okay.
issue.
Is there not a Peter Parker that can because Ben is Peter Parker's clone, right?
Or is Peter Parker Ben's clone?
Right?
It's one of those two things, Fred.
Yeah.
One of them
You
is
read
the
the
clone
comic,
of
you
the
find out.
other one. Okay, I have one more recommendation, Fred. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would.
This is called Dark Web. It came out like last year. Zeb Wells, Andy Kubert, and Ed McGuinness. And Ben is tired of Peter's bullshit. Life has not been kind to Ben, and a lot of his problems are Peter Parker's fault. Like so many people. So it's time for a little revenge. And what better way to get that revenge than to team up with a scorned clone and have demons invade Manhattan?
Oh boy.
This story is a lot of fun, and it's also a crossover with X-Men because the clone that he teams up with is the clone of Jean Grey, who had
okay.
Cyclops' baby that then Jean raised as her own. So she's a little mad too. Dark Web is a lot of fun.
Does Ben Riley know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man?
Yeah, of course he does.
If he wants vengeance, can't he just be like, "Hey, J. Jonah Jameson, I know who Spider-Man is."
J. Jonah
That's probably
Jameson also knows who Spider-Man is now.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Also, that's too easy, Fred. Why not ruin the city that he loves?
That you live in.
He doesn't live there. He lives in Las Vegas, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's just gonna ruin New York City for Peter, and then go live in the desert again.
Oh boy. All right. Well, are those your recommendations?
Yeah, especially Dark Web. It's so good.
Okay. Brandon, do you know where you can put this guy where he would excel? That's not the Web Warriors.
I mean, I think it's just. I mean, I think he would play really well with like I mentioned the defenders. When I looked it up, it was the Midnight Suns that I was trying to remember that he worked with at one point. Because I know it was one of the affiliations that I liked, and I couldn't remember which one, and I misspoke, so I do apologize for that. Doesn't mean he'll be affiliated. He had just worked with them at some point. I do like him in Defenders. Defenders do have a really clogged 4, but just having the ability to do a little bit of everything. And I think him with the aforementioned Shang-Chi that we're getting will add a lot of really good scenario play. Having character throws, needing 5 power to possibly get 2 characters off of points can be really, really good. And having the survivability with Spider Sense, and then having just a really good spender, plus his push and elusive triggers. The loose trigger on a wild hit on 5's not the easiest thing to hit.
Yeah.
Getting the rerolls under Daredevil will help that offensively, and having his built-in defensive rerolls help that a lot. So a lot of good things going for him to play in that affiliation.
Okay. I guess the only thing that's left is my non sequitur recommendation, and I've not got a whole lot here. I've been struggling trying to think of something for what to bring for Scarlet Spider, and most of my trouble is I have no idea who this is.
All right, Fred.
I know nothing about him.
He was in a movie you have seen, and was played.
Yeah, he was in Across the Spider-Verse.
And do you know who played him?
Yeah, you told me it's Andy Samberg, right?
There you go. Tell us your favorite Andy Samberg thing.
Yeah, so just recommend Brooklyn Nine-Nine and let's all go home.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean that's a
that.
great one.
I do like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that's not going to be my recommendation. That's
my boy with Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, right? That's where you're going.
Absolutely not. Here's what I'm going to say. It's 9:00. I'm just going to go to bed. We'll skip mine this time. Okay, everyone. That's probably the easiest bet.
Watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's great.
It is very good.
We have taken over Fred's segment.
Yeah, you've taken over. All right, watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And until next week, I think we've been on for 2 hours or close to it. I will see everyone later. Goodbye.
Everybody have a wonderful night.